Hey guys, thanks for following with us. Thanks for hanging in there. It's now week 4 of our Disciple at Home series. So, just wanted to say thank you for investing in your kids. Thank you for not just dropping them off at church and depending on the church to teach your kids who Jesus is. Um, the whole thing about discipling is seeing seeing what real life looks like following Christ. And you're not going to get a clear picture of what the hard parts look like at Sunday school. I think about the difficult struggles that we deal with at home. It's important for the kids to see the struggle at home and to see how to get through that and trusting and relying on God and really just depending on God to get through the good things and through the bad things. Here at church, everyone's typically in a good mood. Things are kind of lighter on Sunday mornings, and everyone's having fun and a good time. And it could paint this rosy colored picture of what Jesus really is and what life is supposed to be like. But I'll tell you, at home is where more difficult things come up. That's where the struggle is we live with all these other people, and we've got jobs, and we've got bills and deadlines at work, and we've got so many complex things that are all balled up into one family. And that's where it's so powerful for the kids to see that struggle and to see how we rely on God in those difficult times. So I just wanted to say thank you for doing the hard work and not just relying on someone else to do it. This is powerful, man. This is so powerful that you'll be able to speak into your kid's life. I growing up, I've spent a lot of time in church my whole life, and I can't tell you, Sunday school lessons that I learned, and I can think of maybe one or two memories from Sunday school lessons as a kid, or one or two things as a youth, a teenager in class or at youth nights. I can think of one or two things from that, but where I really can recall big moments were through relationships and spending time with other people, and mentors really pouring into me. And one of the biggest things is the time that my grandmother and that my mom poured into teaching me about who Jesus was and about how my behaviors have to reflect him, and um, how I can't just do everything that I want to do. And so all those things were poured into me from my mother, my grandmother, and my brother. And these were all things that may have been taught at Sunday school or at youth, but through relationships with them and with my youth pastor, spending time with him outside of church, those were that was what developed the character that I am today. So, like it or not, here I am. So I just want you to know that what you're doing with your kids is huge and impactful. So I just wanted to say that to you guys before I got into the questions of this week. The questions this week are based on the story of Noah. So we're in week 4, and the story title is The New Beginning. So the question one that I have is, who was God's only friend on the earth? The answer is Noah. Question 2 is, God had told Noah something was terribly wrong. What was that thing? And the answer there is that people have filled this earth with hatred. The third question that I liked and I wanted to ask my kids is, what did God say that he would use to wash away all of this hate that the world had been filled with? And that's water from a flood. The fourth question that I liked was, what did God teach Noah to build to save him and his family and all the animals? And that is the ark, or your kids are most likely going to say a big boat. And then the fifth question, the final one I have here, is, what was in the sky as a promise from God that he would never flood the entire earth like this again? And that is a rainbow. So with this, I just want to get the information of what the story is and teach the kids the biblical stories of Noah, but also that God values us so much. He would almost do anything to protect us and to keep us out of harm's way. And God had to do something huge like flood the earth. And there was a lot of loss and devastation in that. But it was important that we went through that so that God could protect the relationship that he has with mankind. You see, it wasn't long after the flood, it wasn't long after the boat landed on dry land that mankind began to screw things up again. But God values our relationship so much, he would do anything to keep the hatred out, to keep the sin from coming in between us. And so every story is going to eventually tie into the coming of Christ, or when Christ actually gets here. And that's what I love about the Old Testament, and that's what I really love about what this book here, that we're using, the Storybook Bible. It all ties it into Jesus, and I just love how the historical Old Testament stories are tied into Jesus. So that's enough rambling for me this week. I love you guys. Keep up the good work. Just know that you're not in this alone. We're praying for you as a team. We're praying for you as a family. My family's praying for you. I love you guys, and I got the highest hopes and expectations to see your children turn into mighty men and women of God that are going to create other disciples and lead people to Jesus through your hard work. I love you. God bless you.